Welcome back to another episode of the Live Your Yes Life podcast. My name is Lisa, and I will be your host for today. I am one of the co-founders here at Rise Leadership Circle. It is a company that I lead along with my business partner and my daughter, Kayla. And I just want to thank you so much for being here each week. We are committed to bringing you channeled thoughts and discussions and powerful interviews on what it takes to go from dreaming and wishing to really living your version of a yes life. So this episode today is going to build a bit on the one that I did 2 weeks ago. That one was titled, What Keeps Heart-Centered Leaders Stuck or Broke? Because this is a big topic. So right now, at the time that I'm recording this, we are in the middle of the Joy Challenge. And we just completed day 3. When this gets released, it'll be just a few days after we completed the Joy Challenge. So we've been in this week-long challenge with our community. I hope you've been following along and joining us. And we've been going live each day. And then the second hour, we have a coaching room where we deepen the discussion and we get to coach in real time the people who are part of the challenge. So yesterday was a really deep session. And during the Joy Challenge, we talked a lot about the power of processing all emotions. So on the way to joy, we also have to be willing to experience the full range of human emotions. And how when we avoid some of the emotions that we'd rather not feel, we are actually avoiding some of our own internal wisdom or our own internal guidance system that's meant to point us in the direction of what is most in alignment for us. If you want to know more, I talked about this a bit in some of our earlier episodes, and you can always message me. I can point you to the episodes that would be right for you. But we had this really deep discussion, and there was a theme that was coming up in the coaching room around this idea of feeling like they want more for their business, or they really want to focus more on themselves and be able to curate these experiences that are joy-filled, that really begin to bring just all of these experiences in your life that you want to have. And what often gets in the way is caring for other people. A lot of people who follow us and listen to this podcast tend to be powerful women. A lot of our audience is women, not everyone, but tend to be powerful people who often are entrepreneurs. Again, not everyone. Or they tend to be leaders who are building these amazing careers and also at the same time are taking care of a lot of people in their lives, right? That's often the case with leaders because you just have that personality where it's like, you've got it, right? There's a problem, something goes on, you've got it. You're solving challenges, you're helping and supporting the people in your life. Now, sometimes this might be kids, if you're a parent, or you might be taking care of aging parents, or it could even be, within the context of what you're doing for work. But there was this discussion that came up around just feeling like by the time it came time to really pour into themselves or to even think about creating some experiences that they want to have, they just felt tapped out and didn't really know how to prioritize accessing their own joy. And I think what happens when we do this is we continue to sacrifice ourselves, right? We continue to sacrifice our own dreams so that we can take care of someone else, or we can take care of children or grandchildren or whatever the case may be, right? And so when we do this long enough, when we are constantly the caregiver who keeps sacrificing what we need and what we want, sometimes it's our health that we're sacrificing, what happens is we end up feeling like we don't even really know who we are. A few people brought this context to the coaching room yesterday of just kind of having this sense of okay, I'm coming out on the other side of this season in my life where I had to heavily really support some other people who were going through some big things. And now I'm left in this space of feeling like I don't really know myself and feeling really completely disconnected of the truth of who I am. You could see that there were so many other people who were resonating with this conversation. And I've experienced this myself as well. When we're so busy pouring into everyone else, we lose sight of what it is that we actually want and that we actually need. This can also look like feeling disconnected from your vision. Like maybe you don't even know what you want. You could be in a room full of people building a vision board and you don't even know what your vision is. You don't even know what your goals are for the year. And that's a sign that you've been sacrificing yourself or sacrificing your dream for others. And a lot of times what's hard about this is some of the things that some of the people we are required to care for truly do need us, right? Certainly, if you're a mom, it is not like you can just not show up for being a mom. But it is not a requirement to put your own well being on the back burner, no matter what may be happening. And if you're listening to my words and you're like, yeah, this really sounds good, but I have no idea, like, Lisa, you don't understand everything that is on my plate, I invite you to keep listening because you may just have an aha moment here about how critical this is. This is really a call to master the self. I think that this is a very important time in our evolution where so many of us are, in a sense, waking up to feeling and seeing like the world is completely different, maybe than we thought it was. We're starting to do this work into understanding how we're each individually designed, right? And all of us have an individual design. I think it's almost like one of the reasons I use numerology as a coaching tool a lot and why I talk about it a lot is because if you want to think about it like this, we all have a completely unique blueprint and design. And what this can just help highlight or show us is that, I want you to imagine that there are like 9 different colors, 9 different paint colors, and your creator is going to add certain colors, like more of certain colors, less of certain colors to your unique design. Or you could think of it like a recipe, right? And each of us, while we all may have, maybe we're all made of the same, let's just say 9 ingredients, some of us have much more of other ingredients than others. And when we begin to understand how we are uniquely designed, it can really illuminate our path forward and really help us to understand how we personally need to nurture ourselves. We need to nurture our own dream, and also how we can avoid sacrificing ourselves and yet still powerfully support the people in our lives who we feel really called to serve and support. So, this really comes down to choosing to lead yourself first. And it's one of the things we talk a lot about inside of Rise Leadership Circle is mastering this ability to lead yourself powerfully to the life that you want to have, and not at the expense of anyone else, but in such a way that by leading yourself, you naturally lift everyone else around you. I remember the first time that I heard a story that really caused me to question and think about how I was relating to my own self care. So many years ago, some of you may not know, I also have a health coach certification in addition to being a life coach. And I decided to add the health coaching to my repertoire after going through my own health crisis, after going through my own deep level of burnout. And I was in a training with JJ Virgin. Some of you may know her. She is a celebrity nutritionist. She's written multiple books. You can definitely look her up. She's got some great information out there. But I had the opportunity to take a training with her, and she shared a story that was really in some ways a bit life-changing to me. So if you don't know her story, she many years ago was a mom. She has some children and a couple of kids. She had I don't know if it was like an argument or something happened between her and her son, and he was angry. He wasn't allowed to go somewhere to do something. I want to say he was like a teenager at the time. And he was angry, kind of slammed the door, walked out of the house, as kids do, right? And sometime later, she received a phone call that he had been, I believe it was hit by a car. Now, you guys, I may get some of the details wrong. I heard the story years ago, so I'll do my best to share what I remember. But I'm just going to bottom line the story. They didn't know if he was going to make it. And so she and her family were at the hospital. They had to make some really tough decisions, not knowing if he was actually going to survive his injuries. And right during this time that this was all happening, she was about to publish, I think maybe it was her first book. She had kind of invested every single thing she had into launching this book, and she was about to go into this launch mode. And yet here she is sitting at the hospital for probably 15 hours a day. And so most of us would think, well, of course, you would just scrap the book deal. You would forget about it. You would put it on the back burner. But at the time, she was like, that was the way she was going to pay for her son's medical care. If she didn't follow through on this, she didn't know what was going to happen or what they were going to do. So rather than burn the candle at both ends, right? Rather than scrap the book deal, rather than push herself into exhaustion so that she ended up sick, what she ended up doing was spending, 15, 16, however many hours she could at her son's bedside and doubled down on her self-care while still making the book launch happen. And this was such an aha for me because the reason I was so burnt out is that I had been in a space of caring for everyone, trying to keep a business afloat. My mom was really ill at the time. I was traveling and caring for her. And I was like, I put myself last, right? I was the last thing. If there was time, if maybe, then I might care for myself. And the story that JJ Virgin shared was she actually doubled down. And so what she did is instead of just eating whatever crappy cafeteria food she could find, she had meals delivered from Whole Foods 3 times a day. So she was eating really nutritious, healthy meals. And instead of sitting all day, she would take breaks and she would simply run up and down the hospital stairs so that she was getting a workout in several times a day. And she brought in as much support as she could. Anytime anyone offered support, she took advantage of it. And she doubled down on her sleep. She's like, I left and went home and got at least 8 hours of sleep if I could and was right back the next day. She didn't give up on her sleep. She didn't give up on her nutrition. She didn't give up on her movement. She allowed herself to be supported so that she could be there to make life and death decisions for her son, so that she could be the best that she could be. And I think this is such a powerful story because for so many of us, we wouldn't choose that. That was an aha moment for me. I was like, oh, that's like a novel idea back when I heard it. And I allowed that story to change me and made it my mission to really look at, okay, how can I be the best version of me? What do I need physically? What do I need mentally? What do I need emotionally? What do I need spiritually? So that I can bring not only my dreams to life, but be the person that I want to be for the people I love and for the people that I serve. And it's a never-ending quest. I don't do this perfectly, you guys. I truly don't. I still go through ups and downs. And, I really truly think this is about us continuing to grow and continuing to learn over a lifetime. So that's why I say I really think that if you're someone who's been in this situation, this is a call to really start mastering your self-leadership, your self-understanding, coming home to yourself and giving your body the fuel and the energetic, spiritual, physical support that it needs so that you can continue to do the things that you want to do. It's not about sacrificing. If you are currently sacrificing your dreams, your health, your relationships, anything at all for the sake of another person, I want to invite you to really look at that and ask yourself, how am I leading myself in this moment? If you would love some support with this, we would love to support you inside of the circle. So we just opened the doors to the circle. This is our 12-month membership and coaching community inside of Rise Leadership Circle. It is such an incredible program, you guys. I really want to invite you to check it out. I can't go into all the details here, but I want to say this. We have spent years curating the type of support that we feel our community most desires to have. So we focus on really doing the inner work that allows you to step into your version of your yes life. And inside of the circle, you get to coach with Kayla and I inside of our group coaching program every single week. You get to be with one of us. I typically lead, sometimes it's me, occasionally it's another circle coach, but it's most often me that leads a Plan Your Week party every Monday. We get together for 30 minutes and we map out your week according to your big dreams and goals so that week by week, you can actually see your process taking one step forward every single week until you get to the end of the year and you see your dreams realized. We provide one-on-one. You get 2 one-on-one sessions throughout the month with a circle coach, daily what we call pocket coaching messages, these little hints of inspiration to start your day, immersion experiences where we go deep on certain topics 4 times a year. You guys, it is such an incredible wraparound support. And we have curated a way to bring this to you literally for about the cost of your large Starbucks venti latte per day. So the doors are open, as I said, right now. You guys, if you want to know more, I'm going to link below. You can fill out an application to request more information. You can also just send myself or you could send Kayla a message and let us know that you'd like some more information. You can request to speak with one of us. It is our mission, really and truly, to make the power of coaching available to everyone who wants it, because we know the power of this work. And this community is really, really special. You guys, if sometimes I've had some conversations with people who are like, I've just hesitated to join a community because I just have sort of these scars of my childhood or growing up or feeling like I don't fit in this community of women, or I just don't feel like I fit in anywhere. I promise you, you will fit in this community. It is just a beautiful group of heart-centered, open-hearted leaders. And we would love to welcome you in, or just welcome a conversation to see if it might be right for you. So if you are someone who is a leader, an entrepreneur, a person who desires to grow and evolve and wants to do the work, to do the inner work that creates your version of stepping into your dreams, of creating what you want, of stepping into your yes life, and you want to have a place where it's like, okay, I want to be in this community. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to work on my big goals for an entire year with support. Then come and join us. So click the link below, as I said, reach out, ask a question. I'm so excited to welcome you in. And if this message supported you today, will you let me know? Please do be sure to like this, to share it with a friend if you feel like someone needs to hear it, someone who needs to stop sacrificing themselves and to really go deep on realizing that they get to be at the top of the priority list as well. Please share it with them. I would love to hear any takeaways you guys have. All right, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.